Okay, thank you all for joining. I'm just firing up the game, loading it up. Just waiting. Hey. Okay, so here we are back on Cheeky Badger. Haven't had a chance to sleep through the night yet, so we'll do that. And hello again, Rocket Scientist. How are you? Hopefully things have stayed the same from last time. I hope class can make it. Yes, FrechDachs means Cheeky Badger, so it's just easier for me to say Cheeky Badger. It was interesting. I actually looked up what FrechDachs without the capital D stood for, and it said pancake. So I think the map is going to be more Cheeky Badger than pancake. So we're going to carry on doing the ploughing. Not hit my car, hopefully. So the map tour definitely didn't take as long as some of them do, I guess because it is a smaller map. There wasn't as much to go around. But it's still a nice map, that one. I'm still amazed at the size of this map. You know, it's about the same size as that. Yes, hi there, Klaus. How are you today? I'm glad you made it back. We did a map discovery and it didn't take as long as they usually do, being a smaller Polish map. But it was a really good map. My little hang up about map edges, they'd done a really good job of having the roads go off into the distance, and yeah, it's a nice tidy little map, lots of detail. basically all the basic stuff. Some of the productions are missing, and not exactly a lot of land you can purchase to build productions on. So I guess you could buy a forestry and clear it, but it is more of a small implement map. And I would like to play it, but I'm having trouble trying to fit everything in. Yes, thank you, Klaus, for mentioning that. Yes, the project went really well. We have finished it as of today. So very happy client, and my boss is very happy as well. And that's always a good thing. Hopefully it means he'll keep paying me. So I was thinking about what you said there last night about not being an area for olives and grapes. So maybe I'll stick with that, and I might try doing olives and grapes in England, in the Cotswolds. We'll see how that goes. English wine is the best. Just ask any Englishman. I think there was a comedy show called Chef, about an English chef, and one of the episodes he was in a competition in France, and part of the rules were they had to use the local ingredients from their area, and they forgot the English wine, and here they were traveling all over the French wine shops trying to buy a bottle of English wine in France. That was quite funny. So yeah, this is a big field, but yeah, maybe I'll just grow it full of oat and do a lot of baling with the straw. Oh, there's our weather giving us a warning. Thick fog for 1 hour. Okay. So I installed the weather mod, which is meant to emulate droughts and that sort of thing. So I thought we'd see how that goes. They definitely had trouble trying to buy English wine in France, yes. And whenever they went to a wine shop, they were basically laughed out of the shop. So yeah, welcome to our viewers on our vertical stream as well. Hope you're enjoying it. And Rocket, you're more than welcome to put your links to your live streams and videos into my self-promotion chat on Discord. Yeah, a lot of the YouTubers have done that on the Discord. Just remember watching somewhere where they said don't put it up straight away, let the algorithm do its thing first, let that get the views, and then after that sort of died off, then you can go and advertise it for other people to link into. So I thought that was some interesting news. But yeah, there's some awesome YouTubers out there that like to support the smaller channels, so it's a great community. Of course, at the moment, Rocket, it'll just be you in class that'll be seeing the the link, but you know, we'll see how it grows. It's basically my thoughts for the whole thing has been just to, you know, start streaming and see how it goes. And I was just hoping that, you know, we'd get some people come in and we could have a talk about, you know, as Douglas Adams says, life, the universe, and everything. Not sure if you're familiar with Douglas Adams, Klaus, or Rocket. Yeah, Rocket, you're more than welcome to put your channel into the chat. I think you should be able to. Yes, Douglas Adams is or was a English writer that wrote a few comedy books. Probably well known for his Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series, which started off as a radio play, became a book. Yep, yep, put it on Discord, mate, that is fine. Interesting, it says thick fog, but I don't really think this is any thicker than normal, so... So you've read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy then? Yeah. It's a good book. Yes, it is. Yes, the answer to the ultimate question. It's just a shame no one knows what the question actually is. Yeah, it's funny how often 42 comes up, and those in the know are in the know. They all look at each other and nod. I'm liking this tractor. I have to admit, I don't usually go for the Deutschfahr. I usually go for a Fendt, but I'm very happy with this one. Yes. Yeah, were you on the English version, or was it a German translation when you first heard it? Yes, I can imagine it'd be difficult to translate, because I know that there's a lot of concepts in it that even native English speakers have trouble following, if they don't have a warped sense of humour such as myself. Some people just don't find it funny at all. And I was told it was something similar with, if you guys are familiar with the Asterix and Obelix novels. Apparently the first few times that they were translated from French into English, it was literal translation, and a lot of the jokes were getting lost in the translation. And so it actually needed someone that could understand the jokes from the French point of view and translate it so that it would be funny from the English point of view. But yeah, Douglas Adams definitely has an interesting view of life and things, so Did you ever see the text-based game for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I think it came out in the late 80s. One of those text-based adventure games where you created the pictures in your head. Yes, I remember playing that game and then rage critting because they were absolutely vicious. And if you missed a certain part at the very beginning of the game, near the end of the game, you would fail. They had no mercy at all. It was all to do with if you didn't give a dog at the beginning of the text adventure a sandwich, then later on that dog would eat the invading force of ships. So yeah, and you just happen to be on one of those ships. End of game. Yeah, yeah, those games were good. They were like interactive books. Of course, back then computers didn't really have great graphics, so text-based things were usually the best way to go. I'm definitely going to have to pick up a lot of stones. Yeah, no problem, Klaus. The Rocket, if you're still there, do you know much about PC parts like graphics cards? Do you have an opinion on them? Okay, I know AMD have got some new ones coming out very shortly, and there's lots of rumors flying around. Some saying the price will be about $1,000 NZ, or about 500 US, and possibly 32 gig of VRAM. But the local PC parts store has got an Intel, just can't think, it's a B590 I think it is, one that they released late last year I think, and it's got 10 gig of VRAM, so a bit less than I really want, but it's about 500 New Zealand dollars, so quite a bit less. And apparently it was rating very well on 1440, and yep, the Battle Mage, that's the one. Apparently it was rating quite well against 4060s and that sort of thing in the higher graphics range, the 4K and the 1440. I'm just wondering if I should grab one of those or wait and see what AMD comes out with. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Yeah, they don't have any RTX 4070s in the shop at the moment, and of course they haven't got any of the 5090s or 5080s. They're all out of stock. Yeah, I definitely will. Thanks for that. Because I've got a 4K monitor. Well, actually, I play on a 4K TV, which basically fills my field of view up with Farm Simulator. I definitely have trouble doing it, playing it in 4K, but 1440 seems to be coming out reasonably okay on my RTX 2060. I just have that VRAM problem. I run out of VRAM, especially in the base game maps, I've noticed. So I'd definitely like to be able to stay 1440, maybe go to 4K. But I found doing it at 1080, the picture became too soft and stretched. So I need a card that can do the higher resolutions and with a good amount of VRAM. Yeah, most of the NVIDIA cards that they have in stock are only 8 gig. Yeah, NVIDIA's been a bit tight with their VRAM, I've noticed. Yes. Yes, I have an opinion about that. Yes, my RTX 2060 worked fine on 1080. But yeah, now that I've got the 4K monitor, it has problems. Yeah, I wasn't overly impressed with NVIDIA's press conference that they had, their release. And all the facts and figures that they were saying, we've got, a huge amount of frames per second, and it's sort of like, you've got a huge amount of fake frames per second, but you don't have a huge amount of real frames per second. And I still get artifacts happening with DLSS. I'm running this with DLSS, basically on the theory that because it's rendering the screen at a lower resolution, it's going to be less taxing on the VRAM. But I still get artifacts, the ghosting. I've had birds that have had a, mile long stream behind them. And DLSS has been around for a long time. They should have been able to solve that problem if they were able to. So I'm really worried about frame generation and what kind of artifacts that's going to introduce into the game. That's what I'm thinking too. That's why I was a bit disappointed with the Intel with only 10 gig of VRAM. I felt I wasn't really getting much improvement. And yeah, 12 to 16 gig is definitely, I think, more what I'm going to be wanting to do, especially if I want to run the high texture quality in Farming Simulator. I'm running low texture quality at the moment. I think in one of the German forums they were saying that you know, if you want to play Farming Simulator in 4K, I think you've got to have minimum 16 gig of VRAM, is what they say. So yeah. It's sort of a little bit annoying because it's only this stupid DirectX 12 texture streaming that's the issue. I had issues on DirectX 12 in the old stream farm, where textures would be really blurry and wouldn't look good. But if I went to the DirectX 11 renderer, the textures would all come sharp again. I might lose a couple of frames per second, but yeah, everything was sharp. But FS25 doesn't use DirectX 11 at all. Yeah, most of the cards that my local suppliers got has only 8 gig of VRAM, so I sort of feel like I'm not getting much advantage over my 2060 for VRAM. Hi Klaus, just having a talk about graphics cards at the moment. Yes. Trouble is, our local part retailer is actually really sharp in his pricing. They'll quite often be $20 or $30 cheaper than their online competition. Yeah, that's where I have the problem, because I'm trying to run it on 1440, and I want to stream at a higher resolution as well, and I am on a 4K monitor, so 1080 just doesn't look nice on a 4K monitor. But I run out of VRAM way too quick, and I think I read somewhere that someone was saying that on the German forums, one of the developers was saying if you want to run 2K or 4K, you need, sort of like 12 to 16 gig of VRAM. So if you're going to run the high quality textures. Yeah, I'm thinking I might wait and just see what AMD does. There's a lot of rumors flying around at the moment. . 3 screens, yeah, that'd be good for flight sim or Elite Dangerous. Yeah, 64 gig of RAM would be very helpful for the likes of the flight sim. I think I've got the same chip, and it's an awesome CPU. Yeah, yeah. I saw the local shop here had a Battle Mage Intel GPU. That was for about $500 New Zealand. So it's probably about what, 250 euro. But it's only got 10 gig of VRAM, so not sure. And there's a lot of rumors floating around with AMD that they're gonna be competitively priced to try and hit Nvidia hard. They're talking about maybe 500 US, which I guess is about the same in euro, will be about 1,000 New Zealand dollars. And there was even a rumor floating around that they might be going to 32 gig VRAM. So I guess we won't know until they actually release the cards. And then there's always, you know, they may be released but doesn't mean they're available. As anyone waiting for Nvidia would know. Yeah, that was the one I was looking at. But I probably need to do a bit more research on it. And I think for me the important specs is 1440 or 4K. Because I'm streaming, I feel like I've got to stream at the higher bit rate. Just to keep up with all the big guys, you know, they're all streaming in 4K. Yeah, the Intel cards are definitely competitively priced at the moment. Well, one plus for having the grass on this field is now that I've ploughed it in, I now have a fully fertilized field.
Yeah, I don't know. 4070 could be worth a lot more money in the near future once all the 5090 owners realise that frame generation just doesn't work that well. Yeah, that does limit you, doesn't it, to NVIDIA if you've got those games. Yeah, I'm one of these people. I don't have to have the latest. I'll make a choice and then I'll stick with it until last couple of NVIDIA cards that I had just died. I got the RTX 2060 because the ray tracing was just starting to come out when I built this machine. And you know, it's done quite well. I've just got to the stage now where I'm starting to realize it's not quite powerful enough to run, you know, some of the new bits of software that I want to run. So I've got to look at upgrading it, and of course adding streaming into the mix definitely makes it work a bit harder. I think the other thing I've got to watch out for too is to make sure that my system board isn't too old, because I believe the new cards run on a new PCI protocol. I'm more of a systems engineer rather than a hardware engineer, so I'm losing track of all the hardware side of things. It adds a whole new dimension to your gameplay, I can assure you of that. Bit of a crash course on tutorials on YouTube and learning OBS.
I can imagine. So you were you weren't that serious into your flight simming at the time. Sorry, that's trying to be funny there. Yes, or as I say, the governor of the treasury. Flight Sim 5, was that still Microprose at the time, or had Microsoft acquired it by then? It's a good program, DOSBox. I tried to get it to run Wings of Glory, but at that stage it was still having trouble with the sound card protocols. So, and because it's a voice storyline driven game, without the sound it was a bit useless. Yeah, I remember playing around with the auto exec bat file and creating different memory configurations depending on the software I wanted to run. Yeah, DOS used to be a real pain to try and get the memory right. All because Microsoft thought that you never needed more than, what was it, 8 megabytes of memory, and if you had more than that, you had to tell DOS how to use it. And then it was fun trying to get the sound cards to work on it as well. Yes, Linux is good. What a lot of people don't understand is a lot of the world is run on Linux servers. Yep, Sound Blaster sound card. I probably got this wrong, but I remember you had to make sure that you didn't have two devices using the same ICQ. Am I right with that, or if I got that terminology wrong? I remember having to program stuff like that, and that was all in your auto exec bat file, I think. And then you had your config sys as well. Alright, I should probably grab a stone picker. The IRQ, that's the one. Yes. Now I did double check, and this is actually a real machine. They have produced a machine that does 9.5 meters, so it's not a cheating machine. It certainly was. I think sometimes you spent more time getting the PCs configured for a piece of software and hardware than you did actually using the software and hardware together. I remember getting my first 3D FX graphics card as well, and playing Need for Speed, and was absolutely blown away when a car went through a pile of leaves and the leaves scattered everywhere. It was the kind of graphics you just had never seen before. No, you had to buy a magazine back then to get the tutorial on how to set things up. Computer magazines were a good repository of information. Yeah, back then most PCs only came with one. Yeah, back then PCs were definitely for enthusiasts. Yeah, they were fun times, but I don't think I'd want to go back there. Yeah, sleepless nights. I remember those. When you did finally get the system set up, you'd end up playing a game like Civilization and staying up all night playing that. Just one more turn. Oh, I know that feeling. You get that idea and you just have to get up. You've got to see if it'll work. Oh, I know that feeling. So you'd stay up another 3 hours just trying something else to see if that would work. Yes. Yes, definitely been there. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to go lease a trailer. I passed the car, then the car decided it was going to try and pass me. It's a fast tractor, this one. Ah, yes, definitely, yes. Sometimes I'd sneak home at lunchtime just to try out an idea. I have to remember to keep an eye on the diesel too, otherwise I might run out. That was one of the new mods I was happy to see, was the field service trailer. I used that a lot in FS19 and FS22. It also carries diesel, so you can fill up your tractors from it. And use it to repair your tractor while out in the field. I definitely enjoyed those days, but I wouldn't want computers to go back to those sort of things again. Funny how in Farming Simulator, one tractor is never enough. Ah, 386, that's going back. I think my first PC was a 286, but not the 286DX. I couldn't afford that at the time. I could only have the 286. that print server running DOS or Linux? Would have been fun trying to get it to work with the printers then. Actually, I wonder if we'll have a fact sheet Friday yet for the Nexat pack. Be interesting to see. Yeah, I was going to say, he must be a very clever person. Because printers are the bane of my life. They never want to work. I think it's a nice little bit of realism, just having the sound of the stones clunking in as they go in. Just adds a little bit more to the immersion. Don't recall having that in FS22. Sounds like a very clever person, very clever. I would say he's probably kept busy too. It's amazing how much of the old systems are still being used. Yeah, that's actually quite important, making the old data usable. I remember hearing that in England in 1066 or 67, the king ordered a census, and they call it the Doomsday Book. And that book can still be read. It's still available, you know. And apparently they did a census in 1975, and no one can read that data because they don't have any computer systems that can read that anymore. So making data available for new systems is actually a really important job. Yeah, not sure if I'm going to run a production for cement or not. Or whether I'll just sell them at the crusher. I think there was a mod that came out that did small cement works, wasn't there? Might be worth looking into. Cement would definitely be worth more than stones. Yeah, I might have to look into it and just see what it's worth. Yeah, I might just go and check our garden, see how it's doing for seeds and fertilizer. Oh, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay, I might call it a night there. Thanks to everyone that's joined the stream. It's been a pleasure having you with me. I'll check on that one, Rock, and yeah, if it's not there, I'll put it in there for you. That won't be a problem. But yeah, it's been a good stream. It was fun doing the map tour earlier on as well. It's a nice little map, that one. I appreciate the work that they've put into that one. So we'll carry on with the stone picking next time. Now I've got a plan for another map as well, which I'll be working on. So look out for that in the future. So if you've enjoyed the stream, please hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Feel free to share this video with anyone. And until next time, please have a good day, a good afternoon, or a good evening, whatever time you're watching this. Until next time, bye.